With their treasure chests full, the Maoists employ several locals to work for them. No wonder they have a huge Red Army raring to take on the might of the Indian state, and the growing attacks speak for themselves. 3 deadly ambushes in the last 3 months. The CRPF Jawans look like sitting ducks. 27 CRPF Jawans were killed at last count in the Naxal attack in Narayanpur. 27 lives which could have been saved had basic operating procedures been followed. These CRPF Jawans made the same mistakes that were made by their counterparts who died in the Dantewada attack in April. Clearly, no lessons have been learned for mistakes of our not-so-distant past.
A guard of honor for CRPF Jawans who fell to Red Terror on Tuesday. A stark testimony to an orgy of violence unleashed by Naxals in Narayanpur. A deadly rerun of Dantewada, where CRPF Jawans were caught flat-footed in a Naxal ambush. What's worse, no lessons have been learnt from previous massacres. First, let's tell you how the CRPF men literally walked into a Naxal trap. The 63-member CRPF contingent was returning on foot after a road opening operation. The front end of the party was spread out nearly 3.5-kilometer long line. But at the tail, men were bunched up. At least 90 heavily armed Maoists perched on a nearby hillock opened fire on the tail end. The Jawan had little time to respond or to take cover. 26 Jawans fell to the bullets, 8 others including 4 SPOs suffered critical injuries. Sources say the police had forewarned the company about Naxal movement in the area.
Actually, in no combat area, no war, there is anything called a zero casualty doctrine. So when you go, you factor in that there can be casualty. So you take basic precaution.
But in Narayanpur, the CRPF chose to disregard the standard operating procedure or SOPs. Even basic rules were not kept in mind. In a jungle domination exercise, the contingent is never supposed to exit through the same route from where they entered. In this case, the patrol party followed exactly the same route they had taken while going in for the road opening duty. The troops are supposed to walk in a line, always maintaining a distance of at least 2 to 5 meters between themselves. In Narayanpur, the tail end was all bunched up, making them easy targets for Naxals. The forces are always supposed to be on their toes, avoiding routes that can be used as traps. In this case, troops did not ensure the hillock on their route was secure, giving Maoists an advantageous position to fire from. As always, now the government is in firefighting mode, advocating a change in its anti-Naxal strategy.
I've spoken to the Chief Minister. I said some of these deployments must be revisited, whether they are serving any purpose.
How long will we take before the lessons are learned? Will leaders keep sitting on the strategy or will make a change? With cameraman Ankur Arora, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Raipur for Headlines Today.
The question I'm debating on the centre stage face-off tonight is the CRPF turning out to be cannon fodder for the Naxals? Where are we getting our Naxal strategy wrong? Are we not learning our lessons? Ajay Raj Sharma is the former DG BSF, a leading counter-insurgent. He's with us on the show this evening. Also Dr. Keshav Rao, member of the Congress party. With us also Tarun Vijay of the BJP, Professor Sujato Bhadra. He's a leading social activist and human rights activist with us from Kolkata. Mr. Sharma, we just played out in our report the fatal errors committed by the CRPF. If I rewind to the 4th of April, the 76 people who were killed in Dantewada made the same mistakes. My question, sir, is simple. How can we repeat these mistakes to err once is human? Why are we making the same mistakes again and again? Is India not learning any lessons, Mr. Sharma?
You see, the area in which these people are operating is a very, very huge area consisting of about 35 districts. And things are different in each district. And I really do not know about the SOPs which are not being followed because I have no access to the reports and other things at the moment. But what comes to my mind is that there has to be a much better coordination between the state police and the paramilitary forces who are in these areas. Secondly, the paramilitary forces who are taking part in this have to be much better trained, and trained for this purpose specifically. What I feel is that intelligence in this area would be very difficult to get, and these forces must be operating in some sort of a vacuum, in lack of intelligence. I won't blame the intelligence people also, because the area as such is very difficult to get human intelligence over here. What I feel is that there has to be better planning, strategy and tactics. The command control areas should be reduced. Even the battalions which are having 7, 8 companies should be reduced to 6 companies. Every company must be commanded by a gazetted officer of the rank of assistant commandant.
Okay.
And much more technology, help of technology should be available to these people, because that is the only thing which can fill up the gap which has the lack of intelligence.